How do you know that all ravens are black, and how can you prove it? For the record, they technically aren't always black, but let's just work with the assumption that they are to humor the paradox. If I show you a raven that is also black, that could be considered evidence that all ravens are black, right? Right. How about if I show you a nice green apple? Is that also evidence that all ravens are black? Sounds like a really stupid question to ask, doesn't it? Well, it is a stupid question, but if you're thinking with pure logic, the green apple is technically evidence that all ravens are black. If it's not a raven, and it's not black, then that can be counted as evidence. The paradox is basically that anything can count as evidence if you frame it right, which is true. The sky being blue is actually evidence that the sky is half purple, if you really think about it. It's not really novel to say that evidence can be twisted around however anyone wants to confirm something they want to find. Conspiracy theorists do it all the time, so instead let's talk about something way more interesting. Imagine that you have all the evidence that states what a raven is not. You know they aren't any type of animal, with the only exception being that you can't confirm they aren't a bird. You also can't confirm they aren't black. This means that you have discovered everything in the world that isn't a raven. So can you then determine what a raven must be based on everything you already know? If the only option left is a black bird, then can you safely assume that ravens are black birds? The answer is yes, because you can reasonably conclude that based on all available information. This is a type of discovery process that involves ruling out everything something can't be until you end up with what it has to be. It's actually one of the most reliable methods of making determinations. Police investigators use this process to solve difficult crimes. When they hit a roadblock, they definitively rule everything out until there's only one possible explanation left, which is most likely to be the truth. The act of finding the edges around something creates a sort of informational silhouette that can show you the shape of the answer, even if the details are obscured. I've actually used this thought process myself. When I was a kid, my tennis coach would always ask me to make sure there weren't any tennis balls left on the court. Part of it was my genius privilege, because I'm just so smart that I can find tennis balls. The other part was that my brain was processing the information in a way similar to police investigators. When I scanned the tennis courts, I wasn't looking for tennis balls. I was looking for anything that wasn't the tennis court. I made the process of finding things very efficient internally, since I could kind of mentally flag anything that was the wrong color and look more closely after I had noted where it was. Any object that was a brighter green than the tennis court was then filed as a tennis ball, because that's what it had to be given the circumstances. This thought process is a bit weird, sure, but it's very effective. And it's not really a paradox when you apply it realistically. It's actually a lot more common than one might expect based on how terribly the logic is framed by modern philosophy. Turns out it's not that complicated, yet again.